Good evening, everybody. It's a Monday night. I usually don't do videos on a weeknight, but I had taped one yesterday and tried to upload it, but it didn't really go on Facebook at all, so only a select few got to see it. And if you were one of them, please don't watch it again. I know I don't want anybody to get sick, so please try and avoid it if possible. Um, Talked yesterday about the greatest Bills game that I had been at in my lifetime, and they had a lot of great games. In the '90s, of course, in the glory years, but the game that I remember the most was in 1974, the opening game against the Oakland Raiders. The Bills were coming off a year in '73 where O.J. Broke the rushing record for most yards in a season. He crushed it. He got over 2,000 yards in a 14-game season, which was really amazing at the time. The Raiders, meanwhile, were perennially a good team, and in this '74 season, went on to the championship game against the Steelers, which they subsequently lost, Pittsburgh winning the Super Bowl. They did win a playoff game against the hated Dolphins that year. The famous Sea of Hands game, an incredible football game. It's available on YouTube, and if anybody wants to watch it, just Google Sea of Hands. Incredible game, incredible finish. But getting back to our game in '74, the opening game, a Monday night game at home. Went to the game with my brother and my mom and dad. We got a bus trip from the Lord Amherst Hotel, Main Street in Williamsville. So there wasn't dinner involved. It was just like a bus package. So we went. We got on the bus and we were driving, and the buses, of course, on the throughway, all going to the game at the same time, were very close together. And I was sitting, I believe, with my mom, my dad and my brother behind me, and my mom looked over, and the next bus was very close to us, and she looked over, and there was a big pair of butt cheeks sticking out the window, and she was appalled, of course. My brother and I laughed until we cried, and my father, being the ever stoic one, didn't say much, but I think he was very amused by the whole thing. So we got to the game, your typical Monday night game. A lot of drinking, a lot of drunks, but the game was very nondescript. For 58 minutes, the Raiders were ahead 13-7. Not much went on. The Bills got the ball back. With a little over 2 minutes to play, drove the ball all the way down the field, and the quarterback Joe Ferguson, hit Ahmad Rashad for a touchdown. Ahmad Rashad, yes, the famous announcer, did play for the Bills. He had a very good pro career, starting out as Bobby Moore, actually, for the St. Louis Cardinals before he changed his name. But I believe he had a better career as a football announcer, to be honest with you. But in this case, he caught a touchdown pass. The Bills took the lead with the extra point, 14-13. So 2 minutes to play. The Raiders got the ball back. The Bills stopped them 3 and out. They punted. So about a minute 20 to go. All the Bills have to do is run the clock out to win the game. Well, O.J. had gotten hurt at the end of the second quarter. Didn't play at all in the second half. So the Bills were behind the 8 ball trying to come back in this game. And Jim Braxton got the bulk of the carries. Now, he was O.J.'s blocker. And a pretty decent fullback. I mean, he didn't get a lot of carries, but in this game, they gave him the ball. The ball was on the 20, 25-yard line. They gave Braxton the ball on the first play, and lo and behold, he fumbles. One of the Raiders linebackers came and put his helmet right on the ball and popped it out. And a big lineman named Art Toms picked it up and waddled 30 yards into the end zone for a touchdown, coming right in front of us because we were in the third row from the field in the corner of the end zone, and I still remember him cradling the ball in both hands and running right by me. So the stadium went silent. So there's about a minute to play now. I think there was 1 minute to play when he scored the touchdown, and the Raiders went up 20-14. Well, the Bills got the ball back. And Ferguson had a couple of completions. They had a roughing the passer penalty and a pass interference penalty on the Raiders. So the Bills got it all the way down to about the 15, 18 yard line of the Raiders. And Ahmad Rashad again ran an incredible pass pattern against a Hall of Fame corner, Willie Brown, one of the best in the business, who subsequently made the Hall of Fame. Rashad did almost like a 360. He went out, he kind of pirouetted around and cut toward the end zone, and Ferguson drilled it right in there. And Brown wasn't far behind. That tells you what a great player he was. But so the place went crazy. The Bills tied it up in the extra point by John Leipold, a straight-on kicker. Not a bad kicker. Of course, all the kickers nowadays are, soccer style, as they're called, but he made the point, so it was 21-20. But there was still like about 28 seconds to play. The Raiders got the ball, got the kickoff, and believe it or not, drove down to the Bills' 33. A couple of pass plays, and called a timeout, and I believe there was 3 seconds to go in the game. So they brought out George Blanda, the 46-year-old kicker, the ancient one, been a hero in many of their games. But I remember saying to my family there that was with me, I said, there's no way this guy can kick a ball 50 yards. He's not going to make this kick. Well, fortunately, I was right. I mean, he missed it. Not even close, way wide right and short. So the Bills ended up winning the game 21-20. Tremendously exciting. The most exciting Bills game that I've ever been at. So it was a great game. The Bills had a real good year in '74 that year, making the playoffs for the first time since 1966, I believe, and losing to the Steelers before they went on to beat the Raiders in the championship game. So they both lost to the Steelers eventually. But so that's my story about the Bills. And next time, if this video loads up, I'll share about the Buffalo Braves, the most exciting game that I've been, a basketball team that we had here for a few years, from 70 to, I believe they left in 78 or 79, and just a lot of fun, a lot of excitement with the Braves, a great basketball team, and a lot of great memories. So I hope everybody's doing well. Just completed today, day 88 on the front lines of COVID. Not on the front lines as the doctors and nurses and hospital staff is. They're the heroes. But I am faced with the virus every day. We have, between our two buildings, approximately 1,000 people, 500 in each building, and we've had 4 positive cases. And we have to be very cautious. I'm in a mask most of the day, 6 to 7 hours a day, but I'm not tooting my own horn or patting myself on the back. I was just telling everybody out there to take this thing seriously. It's far from being over. Please wear your masks. Please social distance. And I'm sorry that my cat Dimitri will not be making an appearance tonight. He was on the video that I did yesterday that never made it onto Facebook. So hopefully next time I can get him on here. So I hope everybody's well. I wish you a good night. Go Royals.